Population, a term that is frequently discussed all around us. It's one of those things that would keep on increasing until a certain point, which is not yet defined. Today, our population is roughly around 7.7 billion. We've come a long way since 10,000 BCE. At that time, the population growth rate was very low. It took us around 8 to 10,000 years to climb up from 4 million to 190 million. But now we can see in the chart that how the population has started growing at a very high rate, particularly in 1960s and 70s. Now, you'll be wondering that why is that so? Why was there a specific change in the population growth rate in 60s and 70s? Well, for that, we give responsibility to the advancement in healthcare system, knocking down many epidemics and decreasing the number of deaths to a great extent. And we can also give credit to advancement in agriculture and trade, which gave a surplus amount of food for living and also encouraged many settlements. Now our population is really growing at a very high rate, which can cause trouble to many countries which are overpopulated. So in this video, we'll be discussing about the effects of overpopulation on environment and the social, political and economic status of a country and many more. First of all, let us see what overpopulation means. Technically, it is increase in number of people and shortage of resources for them. Overpopulation has some drastic impacts to the environment and to different countries all around the globe. First, let us find out what it does to the environment. Now, human overpopulation is among the most pressing environmental issues, silently aggravating the forces behind global warming, environmental pollution, habitat loss, mass extension, extensive farming practices, and in consumption of finite natural resources such as fresh water, arable land, and fossil fuels. Along with overpopulation, many things have increased, particularly deforestation. To create new settlements and to practice farming, people have been continuously cutting down trees. Complete forests have disappeared in the past 20 to 40 years. Population growth is slowly eating up the environment, destroying the wildlife and many more. Now let us see how overpopulation affects a country. An overpopulated country faces many problems like poverty, starvation, malnutrition, inflation, high living cost, unemployment, etc. In an overpopulated country, people don't usually earn as much they need to dwell. Because of this, people are usually forced to migrate or to live in small congested areas. And because of all these things, the economy of that country gets destroyed, many people lose their job, and the country's natural resources exhaust up. Overpopulation also affects a country socially and politically. Suppose two different communities live in a country with very different ideologies. One of them is very extremist and the other one is more liberal. Now the population of the extremist community grows really faster than the liberal community. Now after a few years, the percentage composition would drastically change in favor of those people with extremist ideologies. With this example, I want to explain that how population growth of different communities in a country affect different factors of that country. With this, we can conclude that overpopulation is actually a problem. It can harm the environment and country in many ways, but still many people think of it as not a problem. Many politicians all around the globe have tried to encourage their people for increasing population, which they did mainly to oppress the neighboring country or a community. The leading example of this can be Germany's dictator Adolf Hitler, who told the women of his country to give birth to more and more pure Aryan children just to increase Aryan supremacy all over the world. In Sweden, 1934, Alva and Gunnar Myrdal argued in their book crisis in the population question that Sweden must raise its birth rate. They also suggested plans to the government to let that happen, like maternal and child health care, for free deliveries, maternity and housing benefits, and general child allowances. They just wanted the government to take appropriate steps to increase Sweden's population. UN is also not that interested in matters of linking population and sustainability. Policy documents used by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals do not seriously address population. At the UN Conference of Sustainable Development, problems discussed were agricultural productivity and efficiency and necessity to provide food. There was no practical discussion about reducing population, which, in my opinion, is a really big matter to discuss on. If some people don't think of it as a problem, many countries have actually taken initiatives to control the population and have been appreciably successful. For example, China implemented a crucial policy in 1979 to control its population. It was the one child per family policy, which was that there could only be one child per family, which was later increased to 2 children, and the parents had to pay a huge sum, up to $50,000, if they broke that policy. Another example is of Bangladesh, which decreased their so high population growth rate by distributing free contraceptives to women for decades. Now, India also has to fight with this problem, as the population of India is growing at a very high rate. It is estimated that till 2040 or 2045, India's population will surpass China and be the biggest population in the world. Let's hope for the best, and let's start taking initiatives against this huge problem of overpopulation. So that's it for me, guys. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And also let me know if you have any suggestions for my next video in the comment box. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.